Okay, so what's going on, everybody? It's the Headband Hippie coming to you, new and improved. The Hunter's Moon had me hammered down. Yes, indeed, that energy had me slumped. So I'm feeling good. Nice to be out of like kind of pitiful clothes, you know, sweatpants and your PJs, and you're just mulling around the house in your slippers all day. I couldn't. The moon had me hammered. It's a real thing. It's a real thing. And if you think about how the moon affects the tides, you can understand us being composed primarily of water would also affect us. Also, to come, a little dip into the lunar trading strategy. Just something to be aware of. Honestly, not to be your foundation of all your market moves, but to be aware that the moon can be shown to directly correlate to market moves. Anyways, we're here to talk about Fibonacci. Why Fibonacci? Because Fibonacci was an epic mathematician. An ancient mathematician, Leonardo Fibonacci, designed and pointed to this one theorem that was essentially seeing numbers in nature, numbers in the human body, numbers in psychology, numbers in architecture. And from that, you can see many examples, including numbers in the galaxy, the astrology of our universe. So, what I wanted to talk to you about today is the Fibonacci retracement tool and the Fibonacci extension tool. I love Fibonacci because it is the basis of the phi ratio, which is the basis of the Fibonacci sequence, which is also the basis of the golden ratio, something you also may have heard of. So I use that to design an alignment mat for yoga that shows people where to place their hands, knees, and feet. So from Pythagoras, from Fibonacci, from Da Vinci, they showed me to a mathematical degree the ratios in the human body. I use those to determine the best placements for your yoga poses, so you know you're doing it right every time. It's called the Guru Pad. You can get one at thegurupad.com. That will be the only paid sponsorship you'll ever get in our videos is from me and what we do. Bigger missions here, bigger missions. So bringing it back to what we want to talk about today, right? That is the Fibonacci retracement and extension tools. The Fibonacci extension shows how far the next price wave could move following a pullback. Fibonacci ratios are common in everyday life seen in galaxy formations, architecture, and how plants grow. Therefore, some traders believe these common ratios may also have significance in the financial markets. Extension levels are signal possible areas of importance, but should not be relied on exclusively. Going a little deeper, the ratios themselves are based on something called the golden ratio. Now that's simply that each number in this sequence is the sum total of the two preceding numbers. So the Fibonacci extensions are derived from this number string, excluding the first few numbers, of course. But as the sequence gets going, if you divide one number by the prior number, you get a ratio that gets closer to 1.618. That is a magic number. Little deeper, how to use them, right? How to use them. I'm going to show you. I'm going to show you how to use them. And it is a spectacular thing, let me tell you. It really is fantastic, let me tell you. If the price, so Fibonacci extensions are a way to establish the price target to a projected area where you think the price might go, and you can treat the Fibonacci lines like support and resistance. And it's often helpful in an area where other methods of finding support or resistance are not applicable or very clear. So what is Pelucid is when you get into price discovery mode, right? Bitcoin hits a new all-time high. You're like, now I have no idea where it could possibly stop. We've never been here before. We launched out of the stratosphere. I'm not sure what's up here. So that is when you can use the Fibonacci extension to be like, well, it's likely it might approach here. It's likely it might approach here. And you use that with confluence on other key indicators. The key word, confluence. If the price moves through one extension level, it may be continue toward the next. So the same thing applies for Fibonacci and retracements. Fibonacci retracements show where they may pull back, where the correction will come to. I'm going to show you an example of that now. We're going to go into Ethereum. So since I did this recording a few weeks back, we can actually get a better understanding of what the charts were doing then, and then look at it from the present. So we can actually see that we didn't know where the price was going to go, but because we're looking at the past and now we know what happened Following that up to the present moment, right? The future of the past. Stay with me. Then we can actually get a better understanding of whether this method has validity. And it does. And so here we go. I'm going to grab the tool, start from the low. This is the extension tool, drawing it to the high, then catching the retracement right before it takes off. And what's extremely interesting here, as you can see, is that this initially, look at that, tapped right off the first golden pocket, 0.618, got rejected, tried again, clicked right off the top, got rejected, tried again, got clicked off the bottom, got rejected, tried again, clicked off the top, rejected, and then again went through. Now this is a red candle, but what you can see here is a series of lower highs and higher highs, meaning that there's momentum in this direction. There is a push to make this happen. And there's some decent volume coming in, right? There's a little rise here in volume for the most part. So you could basically see like, oh yeah, all right, we're struggling to get through this pocket. It wants to reject and come back down, but it's not. It really isn't. It's not coming back down here. It keeps trying again, keeps trying again, keeps trying again. So you can bet that the market will take it there. So we're going to go a little deeper into this video and I'll show you Ethereum. It's freaking wild. All right, so here's Ethereum. So cool. So we're going to go from the bottom here in July to the top here in September. And then again down to the bottom right before it takes off in there in October 1st. So here I go. I'm grabbing the retracement tool from top to bottom. Now I blacked out everything so you can't see my other lines, but you can see the golden pocket. And check that out. Not only had we had one rejection there, but we had another rejection here most recently. And that's important because that was established as resistance by this first run up. And then we hit it again and we came back down. But we really want to break it. Like it's very clear that once you break it, it becomes support. Now we're going to go from the bottom to the top of this big move starting in July and ending September 21st. And look what happens. Where did we catch support? Not there on the first drawback, but on the second one, right? We retraced up, hit the golden pocket, and then came right back down to the golden pocket before going up. So you could have had a perfect entry there. You could have made a major investment there. You could have made a series of things. And then as you see lower high or higher low, higher low, higher low, higher low, that's a great sign. That's just a great sign that the market wants to move up, that there's a bunch of buying down here. So it's hard for the price to go below where you entered, which was in the golden pocket. It's just a real beautiful thing right there. Let's see if we get them both back out. Yep. So I'm going to draw it again for you and show that, again, if you entered here, then you're like, oh, maybe I should sell here and see what the market does. Because if this is a dead cat rally off an all-time high, right, it's just a dead cat bounce, then that means it may not continue and it's safe to take profit here. Some profit, maybe not all. Your strategy, I'm not your financial advisor. You know that. I'm your resident headband hippie and woo-woo guru, bringing you all the science back to the theories and the beliefs that allow us to navigate the world with ease. Feeling like a mastermind, at least a master of my emotions in kind. Okay, that's all the time we had today. Thanks for joining in. It's been a pleasure. It's been a pleasure. Yep. Toodaloo.